What's up, YouTube, and welcome back to my channel. And in today's video, I'm going to do my schedule preview for the Michigan Wolverines. But if you haven't, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And by doing so, it greatly helps out my channel and it helps me grow as a content creator. Well, the Michigan Wolverines went 10-0 in the Big Ten last season, but they went 13-1 overall. I was able to go back-to-back in the last two seasons to the college football playoff. They lost both times, though, and most recently lost to TCU, and I think they lost 51-45, I believe. And in a matchup that I thought Michigan was going to win, to be honest. Michigan had some mistakes in that matchup, and TCU was able to beat them, but I really thought Michigan was going to win and go to the final game. But Jen Harbaugh has done a phenomenal job with the team. Despite the fact, we keep hearing off-season rumors that he might leave, but he opted to stay again, and Michigan's recruiting has picked up. I was just able to get a great, highly rated quarterback, to commit to their school, and Michigan looked like they're on the rise, and both seasons was able to beat Ohio State, and make it to the playoffs, and that's a huge thing for Michigan, and in that rivalry. Uh, can he do it again and make it to the playoffs again? That's going to be interesting to see. And I'm going to read off the schedule, guys, of what they got going on this season, and see if they can make it back to the playoffs. Their first week, they're playing against the East Carolina Pirates. This is a matchup where, in my opinion, Michigan can name the score, possibly get some freshman players to come in and get some experience. I really don't see how Eastern Carolina can do anything. They might score a touchdown. They might. I'm not sure, but Eastern Carolina is going to be overly matched in this matchup. Michigan's going to be the better team, and Michigan's bringing back a lot of production back from last season. And it's just going to be a game I feel like that Michigan's going to get some experience in, and try to get, gel as a team as a whole. The next matchup is going to be against the UNLV Rebels, like another matchup where I can see just Michigan just naming the score. The Rebels may not even score in this matchup. If they do score, it might be like a field goal or something like that. But I don't expect them to score a touchdown in this matchup against Michigan Wolverines, and Michigan basically can name the score. Michigan on week 3, they played the Bowling Green Falcons. This is a matchup, once again, I just don't see how Bowling Green can hang with Michigan in this matchup. Michigan's bringing back a lot of production from last season. They bring back Blake Corum. They got Donovan Edwards. They got J.J. McCarthy. They got a lot of guys. Michigan has one of the best offensive line year in and year out. I just don't see how Bowling Green will be able to hang in this matchup. But you still got to play the game, but I just don't see it for Bowling Green. Now, week 4, Michigan plays against the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. Now, Rutgers has played Michigan pretty tough, the last couple of seasons, and but it's normally, Michigan pulls away in the second half, and I was doing some research, and the Scarlet Knights going to have like a pretty good, solid defense this season, but their offense is going to be, horrible, and I just don't see how Rutgers can pull this game off. But things could get interesting, but I just don't see it. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm not sure if Michigan goes on the road or not. But this is a matchup where I think Michigan is going to pull away like they normally do. And Michigan might just jump on them from the first half and just establish, their dominance. But I don't expect Rutgers to win this matchup. Now, week 5, Michigan plays against the Nebraska Cornhuskers. And they're going to be facing Matt Rule as the new head coach for Nebraska. Now, Michigan, is the reigning, winner of the Busing Ball, and but what's going to be interesting is that they got to travel. They got to go on the road to play Nebraska. He's bringing in some talent to this team, but it's not going to be enough, and I don't think it's going to be enough for him to turn this team around that fast in order for them to be able to compete with Michigan. But It's going to be Michigan's first road game. Anything can happen, and that's what's going to be interesting. Can Matt Rule make a huge turnaround? It's going to be interesting, but I don't think he's going to be able to do so. But it could be a close matchup. Next week, Michigan plays Minnesota Golden Gophers. Now, this is going to be Michigan's first road test. Well, not road test, but it's going to be a test. I'm not sure if they go on the road in this matchup, but they're playing against the Gophers. I did some research. Minnesota is not going to have Turner Morgan or Mo Abraham, and I just don't see how Minnesota is going to be able to do something. This is probably going to be a statement game for Michigan. And I just think Michigan is just going to be on a tear this season. They're going to have all the confidence in the world, was able to get through the schedule last season, undefeated. And I don't think they played Minnesota last season, so they're drawing them this season. But out the, I believe, the Big Ten West. But I just don't see how Minnesota is going to be able to keep up with Michigan this season. Like I said, Michigan got too much on the side of the ball on both sides, and just going to be a name to score for Michigan. Now, the next week after that, Michigan plays the Indiana Hoosiers. Now, Indiana has played, Michigan tough, but it's normally when they're at home. But when they have to go on the road to Ann Arbor, man, it's tough for them to come in and make a statement. So we're going to find out about Indiana early on in the season. If I'm not mistaken, they play Ohio State their first game. We're going to see where Indiana stands, by this time in the season. Like I said, they would already have played Ohio State. We can kind of gauge from, that point. But I really don't think, Indiana is going to be able to do nothing about, Michigan this season, especially going on the road. And I just see Michigan winning this matchup, but anything can happen, That's why you got to play the games. Now, the week after that, Michigan plays the Michigan State Spartans. This is a rivalry game, but I feel like Michigan State has lost too much, on that side of the ball, and a lot of stuff. It's going to be some beef there. What happened last year, and Michigan sometimes can get complacent, against the Michigan Spartans, but in my opinion, Michigan is going to be way too talented for the Spartans this season. I feel like the Spartans going to be overmatched in every position just about. But Mel Tucker, he's going to do whatever he wants, try to win this matchup. And they took a brutal loss to him, last season. They're going to have them at home. But if Michigan doesn't get complacent, I think Michigan is going to run away with this game. Like I said, I just don't think Michigan State's going to have the firepower this season to be able to compete with Michigan. Now, next week, Michigan plays the Purdue Boilermakers. Now, Purdue won't have, quarterback Aiden O'Connell, and they won't have head coach Jeff Brom. But they're bringing in Ryan Walters. Ryan Walters was the defensive coordinator for Illinois last season under Brett Bielema. Illinois had a really, really good defense while, under Ryan Walters. But can he, some kind of way, use the personnel at the Purdue to be able to compete with Michigan this season? That's going to be the question. I don't think so, but it could be a close matchup, guys. Like I said, if he get that defense playing really, really well, this could be a tough matchup for Michigan, But I'll expect, Michigan to probably win by 2 touchdowns in this matchup. But, that remains to be seen. And like I said, Michigan's schedule is getting brutal at this point. Next week, they play the Penn State Nittany Lions. Now, Penn State, is a team to look out for this season. They're going to be bringing in, new starter out, in my opinion, Drew Allar. This guy, he won't be, inexperienced. This is a guy that's been, at Penn State. He was just a backup quarterback. And Playing in Happy Valley is a hard place to play. Every time I watch them play, on TV, it looked like the environment is very, very loud and it's alive. And but Harbaugh has success, against you know uh, Penn State the last couple of seasons. I think he's won 2 out of the 4 times, so it's going to be interesting. Penn State going to have the talent, and we're going to see how it works. This season. Penn State could be a sleeper in the Big Ten East this season, guys. A lot of people talk about Michigan and Ohio State, but Penn State could be that sleeper. Penn State might shock some people this season. Like I said, they're not going to be completely inexperienced at the quarterback position, and it's going to be interesting, guys. It's going to be very, very interesting in this matchup, and I think this matchup is going to be really, really close for Michigan. But we're going to see what happens. The next week they play the Maryland Terrapins, and this is yet again, it could be a trap game for Michigan. Michigan, like I said, got the talent, but Maryland's returning Talia Tungavaloa, and he gave the Michigan Wolverines fits last year. And last year, Michigan, if I'm not mistaken, they traveled to Maryland, so Maryland's going to have to come to Ann Arbor to play. And it's going to be an interesting matchup, guys. I don't know. This could be a tough matchup, guys. Like I said, Maryland gave them fits last season, and it's going to be an interesting matchup. But I would like to think Michigan is going to be the favorites in this matchup as well. And things could get out of hand. Maryland's going to have former head coach and Texas A&M former head coach. I forgot his name. I'm drawing a blank right now, guys. But they got Mike Loxley over there. Kevin Sumlin. Yeah, that's the guy. Great offensive-minded guy. Maryland's offense, like I said, gave Michigan problems last season. Watch out for Maryland's offense. It's going to be very, very interesting. Maryland might have one of the best offenses in the Big Ten this upcoming season. So that's a potential trap game, like I said. And Michigan's going to have to tread carefully, even though they're going to be at home playing against the Maryland Terrapins. So that's going to be an interesting matchup as well. And then, of course, on week 13, the big game, Ohio State Buckeyes. Now, this matchup right here, it's going to be a lot riding on this matchup. And to be honest, I think at this point in the season, I think Michigan is going to be undefeated. If Michigan can somehow beat Ohio State again this season, this is going to be interesting, and it's going to be tough for Ohio State, because if I'm not mistaken, Ohio State has to go to Michigan this season. They got to go to Ann Arbor. Michigan will have a healthy Blake Corum. Blake Corum didn't even play last season. They had Donovan Edwards. He was running like he just completely had a great day against the Ohio State Buckeyes. And this time, if everything goes well, Michigan's going to have Blake Corum and Donovan Edwards. Now, Jim Knowles is a great defensive-minded coach. He's going to be tasked with stopping his run game. Ohio State is going to have to definitely stop Michigan's run game to have a chance in this matchup. And like I said, you would think Michigan would have all the confidence in the world, considering that they was able to beat Ohio State 2 times, both at home in 2021 and went on the road to Columbus, Ohio, and beat Ohio State. And like I said, having them come to their stadium, it's going to be tough for the Buckeyes, And I expect Michigan's defense to be better than what it was last season. And like I said, they bring back so much offensive firepower, but expect Ohio State to be really, really good as well. Ohio State is known to have that offense, and Jim Knowles is not going to, in my opinion, is going to make the same mistake that he did last season. So this is going to be a tough matchup. But it's going to be interesting if Michigan can extend this win streak to 3 in a row. If Michigan is able to do that, man, it's going to be trouble in Ohio. You know, will Ryan Day be on the hot seat? I don't know. But if Ohio State some kind of way beats Michigan this season on the road, and I've looked at a lot of, preseason FPI poll came out, and a lot of, they're predicting Ohio State to have the best odds, to get to the playoffs. So Michigan's going to have to stop Ohio State, in my opinion, because I believe Ohio State's going to be a team that's motivated this season. They don't want to make it 3 losses in a row to Michigan, but Michigan is definitely going to have the advantage. They're bringing in J.J. McCarthy again. They're going to have experience at the quarterback position. They're going to have that O-line. They're going to have that run game. It looks like Michigan's going to have all the, advantages for the most part. So interesting matchup at the end of the season for Michigan against the Ohio State Buckeyes at home. But that's pretty much their schedule. And, of course, if Michigan, wins in the Big Ten East and just, handle their business in the Big Ten East, they'll play the Big Ten West champion. And if they win, potentially get in the playoffs. But what do you guys think about Michigan this season? You guys let me know your thoughts in the comment section. And once again, guys, if you haven't, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And I'll definitely be back with more college football content. Thanks, guys, and roll tide.